All right, folks, welcome to the Wednesday night series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. We've got the IWM Cup Series at Indianapolis in the Balls to the Wall Brickyard 200. I'm Rick Sousa here in the booth with Noah Evans. Noah, it's going to be a race in Indy. I'm not sure what this race is going to bring us tonight.
I'm not so sure either, and I don't think anybody really knew what we were going to see on Sunday either. And granted, we didn't see a whole lot of passing, but we did see some great racing kind of mid-pack. We saw a lot of action back there, but it was so hard to get the lead here. I think qualifying is going to be a lot more important than people think it is. This is such a tough racetrack to even try to qualify it. It's so big. It's so just even the surface, it's going to wear your tires down fast. You've got to be able to be smart, get out here, and just try to get the lead early. I think that's going to be the main goal of the night.
Well, we've got 20 drivers tonight facing off here on the IWM broadcast tonight. We'll see how this all plays out. Time is ticking away, about 4 minutes left to practice, so let's cover tonight's event real quick.
Yeah, so 2.5 miles, just kind of like what you'd see at Daytona and Talladega. It is one of the longer racetracks that NASCAR comes to. Obviously, it's a faster pit road speed limit here than what we're usually used to. I think it was, 35 at Wilkesboro? You were crawling there. So it's going to be a huge kind of neck break change from Wilkesboro to here. 100-degree track temperature. It's scorching in Indy. It wasn't super hot at Wilkesboro just a couple weeks ago, but it's going to be really, really hot here. I expect the track to heat up just a little bit. It's going to start wearing on these tires. Speaking of tires, 3 sets of tires. That's more than enough to get you through this race. You have a fair amount of laps to try to get this done tonight, so you're just going to have to be able to kind of space them out as you please. 24 laps will be our stage. At lap 24 will be our stage break. Rule in the IWM Cup Series, you start with a 75% fuel limit. For those of you who don't know, keeps everybody kind of on the same pit stop strategy. Let's go over the keys to tonight's event. Indy rewards smooth. Look, it really does. You've got to be able to just run the same lap over and over and over again. Yeah, you may be trying to find speed, but you've got to know when it's time to stick in your groove and when to run with what you've been given. Tire wear. This is a very different racetrack than what these guys are used to. It's grooved. It's tight. It's such a tough racetrack to even try to save tires at. So you're going to have to be able to kind of think about where you're going to go in hard, where you're going to go in soft, where you're going to dive into the corner. You've got to be able to figure that out quickly before they start to wear down. And consistency. Like we say, Indy rewards smooth. You've got to be able to just run consistent laps. If you can stay within less than a tenth of your lap time, you know you've got something hooked up.
All right, yeah, we're thinking right now that fuel window. This could turn into a mileage race. We'll see how it all plays out. So we'll play it by ear. All right, so that's that's the event tonight. But let's take a quick look at where we stand points-wise here in the IWM Cup Series.
So Kyle Smalley on top. Look, it's just been his year. I think that's what the bottom line is. It's just been Kyle Smalley's year. He's been nearly perfect. Didn't have the week he wanted at Wilkesboro, but he's been able to come back and score some points even then. Matthew Wood, he's missed a couple races. He's sitting 104 points back, but that doesn't mean he's still out of the hunt for the chase. Remember, points reset when we go back into the playoffs. So everybody inside this top 16 is pretty much going to be back on an even playing field. Going down to the top 5, it's Kyle Smalley, Matthew Wood, Walker Thomas, Jared Wishin, and Andrew Pileshi. It's pretty much remained unchanged since, about race number 3 in the season. Down to the bottom, Casey Herschel, Calvin Allison, and Aaron Jackson, all fighting for that final playoff spot in 16th.
Yeah, there's so many drivers that are just a few points away. I mean, if you look at it, at Calvin Allison, he's at the bubble right there. But there's 8 points that separates Aaron Jackson to Calvin Allison right there. Nathan Yarnell is still in it. So all these guys with 5 races to go, or anybody is able to get in. Most of the drivers thinking 10 and up have kind of pointed their way in at this point, but we'll see how it all plays out. You just never know what the season holds.
Never know.
All right. Speaking of the season, let's just take a quick peek at where we are left right here. So this is our schedule right now. We're sitting here in Indianapolis. We go next week to Dover for the All-Star race. We moved it later in the season in this league, but then we go to Iowa, Richmond, New Hampshire, and Daytona. 4 tracks, all completely different.
Yeah, you really go from pretty much every style of racing here. Iowa and Richmond are pretty close to similar, but going from New Hampshire to Daytona, I mean, that's just a huge change. It's unbelievable how fast you're going to be going from the switch. Obviously, pit road speed, track speed, pack racing. You're going to have to make a huge mentality change going from New Hampshire to Daytona. Daytona rewards luck. You're going to have to put yourself in good positions all night long. It obviously is the night race. It's the 400-miler night race. And it always puts on a good show. It's the last race it's your last chance to get into the playoffs. So I'm sure we're going to see some exciting moments there. But looking forward to the All-Star race next week. It's going to be a blast.
All right, qualifying is underway here at Indianapolis. Right now on track is Andrew Pileshi.
Driver of the number 91 machine has got himself in a good spot in points.
Yeah, Andrew's
time he gets that in.
Yeah, Andrew's doing well. He's right there competing. He is currently sitting 5th and in a great spot.
And Andrew is just one of those guys that you'll always see him up front. If he's not up front, he got into some bad luck, but you'll always find that 91 machine somewhere in the top 10 in this field. And he's just found ways to get into victory lane this season. I believe sitting on 3 wins this year. He's done an amazing job in that number 91 machine. He's really started to come on later on in the season. But this 1320 Enterprises team, I'll tell you what, it's not been an easy climb for them to get to where they wanted to. And he hits the wall there coming off too.
Yeah, that's going to negate his. It could negate his qualifying lap. We'll see how it all plays out. If you're relatively new to how iRacing works, that all the competitors are actually qualifying at the same time. So right now we're focusing on Andrew, but we could jump over to another driver who is a part of the Bawls Out Racing team. This is Walker Thomas.
Oh, big slide there from Pileshi just then, but Walker Thomas top of the board right now. Yes, he is. It'll go to Ledger, then Bostic Wishin going down the rest of the field. So the first lap for Pileshi was negated, so he will not get to keep that one.
Yeah, one of the challenges you face here on iRacing is that if you do, during qualifying, if you tap that wall, unfortunately that lap will not count.
I mean, we said it pre-race. Indy rewards consistency. You've got to be able to not hit that outside wall. And heck, we saw guys do it at pretty much every lap in practice. They were touching that wall up there in, I believe it's turn 2. Yeah, turn 2 there in the mini straightaway. It's so hard to not hit that. I've raced at Indy a couple times on here. It is such a tough track, especially at that spot there. It is so hard to figure that out.
All right, more times are coming in. Justin Lewis puts himself on top of the leaderboard. Justin Lewis has been a very interesting story this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him so close, but yet so far many a times this season, and it just seems like he's not been able to find himself in victory lane yet this season. He's going to have to start turning the jets on soon if he wants to get the top 10 spot. He's been able to put himself in almost in victory lane a couple times, and that's why he's gotten himself in a spot that he's John Ledger way up the racetrack there in turn 2. But going back to Justin Lewis, he's been there, and he's gotten a taste of victory. He saw it at Atlanta and was passed on the last lap, and just unfortunately wasn't able to get the win there. But I believe it's coming for Ledger. We see him shine at super speedways, going to Daytona in the next couple of weeks. I expect to see that 7 somewhere up near the front.
Michael Anthony on track now, currently getting his qualifying laps in. He hasn't put in a complete lap yet, or just his his initial lap. So far, so good. Also, another member of the Balls Out Racing team.
Up the road for me in Burlington, North Carolina. See what this 14 machine can do here. Currently 16th on the board. Now 17th. Let's see what kind of time Anthony can put up here. Move up one spot to 16th. He'll get by Berube.
Quickly jumping up to Kyle Smalley, who is our current points leader. He's just put up a time that puts him up into third with a 52.61 from Fort Worth, Texas. But that wraps up our qualifying. Qualifying is done, and we're about to get to a grid.
Let's see what he can do here. Let's get to our qualifying grid.
Waiting for our first drivers begin to populate the grid. They are a-coming. We're just waiting on them. All right, we got that. Let's go ahead and bring up our grid.
All right, on pole position, his first one of the season is Justin Lewis in P1. His outside is Walker Thomas in P2. Row number 2 is Kyle Smalley, your points leader. To his outside, a great qualifying position. The P4 and 4, it's Brian Jones. Row number 3, it's Nathan Carroll and Casey Herschel. Great qualifying efforts by both of those drivers. Jordan Weaver and Jeremy Brown make up row 4 in 7th and 8th. And rounding out the top 10 is John Ledger and Ty Bostic.
All right, starting in row 6, you've got Zach Lindgren to the inside in P11 with Jared Wishon to the outside in P12. Row 7, you've got Andrew Palesci and Aaron Jackson. Row 8 brings us Nathan Yarnell and Michael Anthony. In row 9, you've got Marco Berube and Ty Leclerc. And in row 10, you've got Roberto Ramirez and J.R. Houston. And rounding out the field in P21, you've got David Watt. So that's our grid for tonight's event. 21 drivers have made it to the show, and now we're just waiting for this to get underway. Looking forward to tonight's race. I'm really hoping, as we talked about in the pre-race, that this past Sunday, if you watch the race on of the Cup drivers, passing was a challenge. So difficult to get around and make a pass. The passing zones are there's so much parity here.
Yeah, there really is, and there's always a certain aura that kind of surrounds Indianapolis. It's such a hard track to win at, much less to get into. It's really a privilege to get a race at Indianapolis here, and it's always interesting when the Cup Series comes here because it's really not built for these kinds of cars, and it just looks so out of place not seeing Indy cars here. But I'm still excited nonetheless. There's always a certain prestige here, and to win at the Brickyard, some may say it's a crown jewel, some may say it's not, but it's Indianapolis. You get to say that you won a race at one of the world's greatest racetracks. It is always a pleasure to race at Indy.
All right, racers are coming together here and forming up. They are currently on the back stretch of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Right now, as when they come to the flag and take the green, it is on the flagman, but after that, any cautions and restarts, that will be on the leader. So they'll be looking to whoever is leading the race to start the race through the restart zone.
Yeah, let's hope that, obviously, we'll get these, if we do have any cautions, we'll get them out of the way pretty quickly. And I'm sure, Rick, you saw some of the tweets online, 21 minutes for 2 laps at Indianapolis. And
yep.
Thankfully with iRacing, we have admin privileges and we're able to speed that up. But don't worry, race fans, you won't be seeing any 21-minute cautions here. we like to run a tight ship here at the IWM Cup Series. All right, coming off turn 4, back at the Brickyard. Always fun to be at Indianapolis, and these drivers ready, and they are biting at the bit for a chance to win at the Brickyard. Through the Indianapolis Motor Speedway restart zone, it's on the flagman, and we are green at the Brickyard.
All right, solid race already started. Solid start, 2 by 2 here. Expect to see these drivers potentially fan out. There we go. That's what you typically see here at Indianapolis, whether it's NASCAR, IndyCar. They just fan out as they exit turn 2, go in the backstretch, and they narrow down going into turns 3 and 4. These turns are super flat compared to what a traditional oval looks like on the NASCAR circuit.
Yeah, there really isn't a kind of racetrack that has this kind of banking, especially this kind of transition to from the straightaway to the turn, back to a little straightaway, and then into a turn again. It's so hard to kind of predict what your car is going to do, because if you get tight down on the bottom of 1 and 2, your car is going to wash up into the wall there just off of 2. You're going to see that happen a lot tonight. I'm sure that there have been some guys who have already hit it, but the goal tonight is staying out of that wall as much as you can.
All right, Walker Thomas out in front of Justin Lewis, leading this race. Looking a bit further back, you've got a lot of 2x2 racing sprinkled through the pack. That looks to be the 17 of Jared Wishin. He is up under. That's the 22 of Bostic.
See if we can get on board there at 85 of Lindgren. He's got a great view of this 2-car battle here. They made contact, Bostic and the 85.
On board with Jared Wishin. Sorry, with Zach Lindgren looking at Jared Wishin, the 17, so the 22 in his rearview mirror, dip back, and he's under pressure by the 91 of Andrew Pileshi, getting by the 22.
Driver 91 in the rearview mirror, Andrew Pileshi. And when we talked about him earlier, he really has been pushing towards another win this season. He manages to find them. It's not very often that you'll see the 91 in victory lane, but when you do see him in there, it is spectacular. He fights for it. He fights for these wins hard, and he said it on broadcast before that he loves winning, and he is really going to try to fight for this one. And I see he gets really loose there off the nose of Bostic.
See where drivers kind of make some panic maneuvers to stay out of it. They thought a wreck was happening. They backed out to avoid any potential. You see that 55 right there of Nathan Yarnell. Contact with the wall. I think that was that is
hard
the
hit.
55 of Nathan Yarnell. No caution, but there's some definite right front damage on that 55. See him working his way down the track. Get a better shot next time by. He may have some serious suspension issues there. We'll see how he navigates this next corner.
Yeah, that car is most definitely not okay. He has some really heavy right side damage. Definitely going to be trying limping it back down to pit road. He's going to lose a lot of spots here.
Yeah, you can see we're on board with Nathan Yarnell in the 55. He's making his way onto pit road. He knows he's got some damage in that car. All right, back up front with Walker Thomas and Justin Lewis. As this field begins to stretch out a bit. And that's kind of what we've come to expect here at Indianapolis.
Yeah, it really is, and Indy's is one of those tracks that it takes everybody not too long to figure out. Once you get about lap 2, everybody's gone back to single file. They know how easy it is to wear your tires down here. So why take that chance going on the outside? Get behind the guy in front of you, start chasing him down. And heck, this is starting to look a lot like an IndyCar race here on the front straightaway.
All right, 6 laps complete here at Indy. All right, so far Nathan Yardell's got some major damage on that car. He's working to get that repaired. No meatball flag, so it definitely is repairable from what we can tell just from outside looking on. Brian Jones has moved up to third. He started in fourth, now up to third. Biggest mover so far looks to be Ty Leclerc. He's up 7 spots. Ty's a relatively newcomer to the series, but been making some big moves.
Yeah, he's already got a win this year too, and he's done a great job so far in that number 33 machine. They've swapped out a couple times with Pete Tart as well. He's filled in for him as well, but it's always great seeing new faces into the series, and we've seen some great wins this year as well. We saw Brown in the 46 pick up a win earlier this year, but it really has been the Kyle Smalley show. He I don't believe has more than 2 finishes outside the top 5. He's just been great this season, and he's really, I wouldn't say running away with it, but he's safe right now. I mean, there's really no chance he misses the playoffs. But you look at that, 3 wins for the driver of the 51, and every time that the 21 is not in this field, he's going to gain points on him.
Well, and the fact that he's got 7 stage wins too, that's 70 points. All right, looking at the 17 of Jared Wishin. Jared is up 3 spots to 9th. He tries to make his way through this field. Walker Thomas continues to lead up in front. He's got just about 3/4 of a second lead over the 7 of Lewis. Got 9 laps complete as we work our way towards our stage break.
Get in there. It's lap 9 of 24, so in about 14 minutes, you'll start seeing these guys try to maybe wind it up, try to get that stage win. They know how important the stage points are. Let's see if they'll try to make that push for it.
Get an update as to where our champions are right now. The 21 is not in the show tonight. Not sure what happened to Matthew Wood, but see where he's off track, that's for sure. But Kyle Smalley, our leader, is currently sitting 4th. Walker Thomas, who's sitting 3rd in points, is now leading the race. Number 4 is Jared Wishin in points. He's sitting P9, and Paleshi, currently in 5th in the point standings, is in P10.
$15 to go in stage 1 here at Indy. It's the Walker Thomas show up in front. Has led so far every lap. Justin Lewis fading just a little bit, but he's still in it. And I think everybody just trying to conserve right now.
All right, solid show so far. Good racing here at Indianapolis with the IWM Cup Series. 14 laps to go in this stage. Total of 80 laps today. And so, and I've always looked at these stage breaks as a race within a race. You know, you've got those 24 laps. You know that based on our initial analysis on fuel, that you're going to make it to the stage without a problem. But after that, the gloves come off.
Yeah, I think Carl Edwards said it best too, is that when NASCAR switched to the stage, they really made it into 3 races. It's just a race to get to the end of that stage and try to get the track position coming on to pit road. And he's right. It's turned it into that, and I think that's part of the reason that we have the one stage here. It especially early on in the race too. It doesn't play too much of a factor into the end of the race. Gets everybody on an even playing field for the last 3/4 of the race. So we got 13 to go here. I expect to see some guys start coming down pit road. Maybe a lap beforehand. You may see that just so they can try to get that track position, but I would expect pretty much everybody to come down at around the same time.
All right, solid race so far. You've got Walker Thomas out in front, Justin Lewis second, Brian Jones in third, Kyle Smalley in fourth, and look, Casey Herschel running in fifth.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's been an excellent run for him. He's been doing really good here so far, and Herschel's one of those guys that you kind of just want to win. You know, he's been up front a couple of times and has unfortunately just not been able to pull it off, but he's been consistent and he's able to just get himself there.
All right, 12 laps to go, just past the halfway point here for our first stage. Again, Walker Thomas out in front, Justin Lewis in second, Brian Jones in third. Looking back through the field, going back to John Ledger, he slipped back a few positions. Oh, a spin in the back.
Oh.
Caution did not come out. They wound up on pit road. That's Roberto Ramirez.
Yeah, I saw earlier on in the race, Roberto struggled a little bit with getting onto pit road. He practiced it a couple times. I don't think he intended to come onto pit road.
No, not at all.
Let's go back and take a look at that spin there.
You're watching the 25 here as he comes out. This is turn 4. Just gets super loose.
I mean, I have to. Okay, that was a lap beforehand, so this had already been happening. It may be up one more lap.
Oh, let's maybe he did that again.
Yeah, he was solo here.
Yeah, a little bit of contact with the wall or near contact.
He's really struggling off exit, and then he gets to turn 4 and taps the wall again. Okay, that was turn 2 actually. Here he is coming down into 3.
So he was super loose the lap before, almost wound up on pit road. And now here's where he does wind up on pit road. You saw he's out of the gas super early. No, I guess that was that lap. Odd. All right, we'll go back to live and just catch up what's happening. Still green flag racing. I guess he wound up on pit road. You can see the 22 of Ty Bostic. He was loose. You can see some front damage to that right front on the 22 as well.
Tyler Clare, our biggest mover so far, up 7 spots from 18th. He's now in P11. He has managed to chase down that quote-unquote lead pack. Interesting call by Ty Bostic here.
He's got issues, I think.
Whoa, look at Brian Jones all the way down to the wall with Kyle Smalley.
Ty Bostic, I think, just called it, he just disconnected. I think he's gone.
keep an eye on this battle here. Both of these drivers racing each other super, super hard.
Kyle Smalley to the inside of Brian Jones in the balls to the wall Brickyard 200 here. This is a battle for third. These drivers have been in this position all night long. Oh, Kyle Smalley almost lost it.
Yeah, he's really close there. He's been really fighting hard with Brian Jones. I'm shocked that they have not wrecked already.
Well, there's no contact, but now he's Kyle Smalley is all the way back in 10th.
Yeah, he's dropped a lot of spots here. He's really going to have to fight to get those back.
Let's see if we can go back and see just what happened to watching the 51 here battled on the door of the 4.
Whoa, big loose there. Great save.
Yeah, he dropped 7 or 8 spots there, but was able to recover with 6 laps to go here in the stage.
I think the judges would hold up all 10 scorecards in that save there. I mean, that was... I don't know, after that second spin, or after that second save where he had it pointing at the wall and then got it back, I don't know how he managed to get that back right. But that's why he's in the points lead here.
Absolutely. All right, out up front in a relatively sedate run, you've got Walker Thomas. He's got a pretty good gap over almost 2.5 seconds over Lewis. Lewis has got a pretty good gap himself over Brian Jones, just about 2 seconds. And then Brian Jones is back there with a little bit of heat with Casey Herschel.
What a run for Casey Herschel. Sitting in 4th right now, starting to run down the field here. 5 laps to go in the stage. This is going to be a huge points opportunity for him. He's picked up the Jets in the last couple of laps here. And number 49 Toyota starting to chase him down.
Solid racing here. Brian Jones, one of the better starts so far for Brian Jones. We've seen him up and coming, looking quickly back at the points for Brian. He is currently sitting 13th in points. He's at 3 top 5s and 6 top 10s. Finishing tonight up here in 3rd would be good stage points.
Nathan Yarnell has withdrawn. He is officially out of this race in the 55.
Yeah, I think we've also lost Ty Bostic as well.
Yep.
We saw that earlier damage on the nose of that 22. Ty has called it a night.
Jones way out of the groove there. Not where he wanted that car to go at all. He has tightened up tremendously. You can see that car really pushing off the corners.
Looking back through the field, Michael Anthony back currently in 12th. John Ledger back with Aaron Jackson. That's 13th and 14th. J.R. Houston up 5 spots from where he qualified back in 15th. You see Nathan Carroll currently right now on pit road. On there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, he had some right side damage. He tapped the wall, I think, on lap 2.
Oh, he has a black flag. I think he may have been speeding as he entered pit road. That's not going to be fun. That's a 40-second hold penalty right there. That's exactly what that was. Yep. Good 10-second stop, but unfortunately held for 40 seconds. And we'll put him a lap down, but the good news is we will get a stage break in a lap or two, and he'll be able to get back on the lead lap.
I believe that is the IU native there. Walker Thomas, white flag this time by. He will get the 1 to go in this stage and try to pull off this stage win here. This would be a really good points effort for him if he could pull this off.
All right, Walker Thomas makes his way around out of turn 3. Coming into 4. Then we'll have to wait for Tyler Leclerc to cross the line, and the caution will fly.
And Leclerc was just in a battle with the 51 of Thomas. See which one of them will take that spot, and everybody's shuffling around. It looks like it'll be Tyler Leclerc taking the final stage point. Checkered flag is out, and that is stage break number 1.
All right, so Walker Thomas wins that stage. Justin Lewis, Brian Jones, Casey Herschel, Zach Lindgren, Jeremy Brown, Jordan Weaver, Jared Wishin, Andrew Palesci, and Tyler Leclerc will win that stage. Will take the stage points in 10th.
A great run for Pete Leclerc, or Tyler Leclerc, excuse me. He did a great job getting that last spot there. I believe he got it on the back straightaway, managed to get his draft around him. Keep an eye out on that 33.
All right, well, we expect once these pits open up, we'll see the entire field make their way onto pit road. And so far, so good. Good racing overall. Seen a couple incidents, but what we expected. Typically exit of turn 2, exit of turn 4. The drivers saved it, and we're caution free.
And it's been clean racing the whole way through. Really haven't seen a whole lot of contact here, besides maybe some door banging on the straightaways. But, that usually is what we'll see here at Indy, guys trying to get the draft or get the draft away from them. As the field catches back up to the pace car, I expect pretty much everybody to come down pit road here. Nobody took tires or went down pit road early besides Roberto Ramirez, but we know why he came down pit road.
Yeah, he came down pit road, I think almost sideways.
And probably a good 50 miles an hour over the limit. But hey, he somehow came out of that with no damage. I got to give that props, heck of a save.
Yep. All right, making their way onto pit road. Drivers are diving off into their pit stalls.
See with this IU native here in the second pit stall. That's Walker Thomas. See what he can do.
Oh, Justin Lewis beats him off. Nope. Walker Thomas, beats him off of pit road. For some reason, that 7 and that 1 just kind of blurred together in my mind. good pit stops. It's a 10.98 for Walker Thomas, 10.95 for Lewis, and Brian Jones, 10.77. Great pit stop for that number 4 driver.
If anybody's going to try to get a good start here, it's going to be Lewis. I think he knows that he more than has the car to get up there. That first start was really rough for him, almost lost 3 spots. Let's see what he can do.
All right, field getting back together. We expect to see that the 63 of Nathan Carroll should have gotten a wave around for his lucky dog. We'll see if that plays out. This field begins to form back up. And 25 gets a wave around as well.
About to go back around here. So let's take a look at this top 10 here. This is one heck of a group here. Jones, Herschel, Brown, Lindgren. We haven't really talked about Zach Lindgren a lot. He really has kept himself in that 5th, 6th place spot here. But Michael Anthony has himself back up to 10th. After a less than satisfying qualifying effort for him in 16th, he's now up 6 spots. I believe he may be our biggest mover right now.
I think he's up there tied with, just under. He's up 6 with Leclerc and Houston both at 7. So, yeah, we talk about this track being tough to pass, but some drivers are able to make a change and get up.
There was a stat that I saw on Twitter or X or whatever they call it now the other day that since 2017 there has not been a pass for the lead at Indianapolis made 2 laps after a restart. I know it's oddly specific, but it is a heck of a stat there if that is the case, and that really just shows. I mean, what we said earlier, Indy rewards consistency. It rewards being smooth. You have to be the calmer head on a restart. You can't get desperate trying to keep that lead. If you have to give it up just to get to the inside, give it up. You'll get it back in a couple laps. But let's see what these guys can do here as we get ready to go back green.
All right, pace car is off. Green flag flies.
The door slamming action there.
Thomas moves up to take the outside and back down to the inside. He's got really Brian Jones and Justin Lewis battling right there. These restarts are the most hairiest part of this race.
How about Justin Lewis getting around Brian Jones? Excellent move there. Now he's going to have to bob and weave his way around him.
A lot of action back. You see Jeremy Brown there. He's got some pressure by Casey Herschel. He dips that left side down right there at the bottom of the racing surface. Andrew Pleshy trying to make a pass right now. Getting by the 17 or trying to get around the 17 of Wishin, but nope. Oh, Wishin in the wall.
Trouble for the 17.
A little bit of brake side damage. Blair right there, right in the 33, just behind Koeshi. A little bit of action in the back between, looks like J.R. Houston in the 20 and John Ledger. Some contact again with Roberto Ramirez, also tapped that wall. New fastest lap posted by Justin Lewis, 52:40.
Yeah, Lewis really letting this car hang out here. He's going to have to be super careful to try to not get those tires worn down early on, especially in this run here. Who knows how long this run could go for?
You know, based on our initial calculations, all these drivers came in at lap 26, so we're expecting, you know, they should be able to go all the way to lap 52. And then once they get to 52, that's where things become a little crazy, because if you go back in at lap 52, we're assuming you can do about 26 laps or so. That puts you at lap 78, which is 2 laps shy. So we'll see how these guys figure it out. If they can, I mean, this is an opportunity here. If they can save some fuel and do it in such a way where they can come back in one time, pit on lap 54, and then they should be good to the end of the race. One stop.
It's about what, 12? Yeah, 12 laps to go till they get there, I think. Something along those lines.
Almost 20.
20.
21 laps.
Okay, I thought that said 43. All right.
Yep, 33 of 80 so far. So 48 to go.
Which, that doesn't seem, if it was like at Bristol or Darlington, you may, oh, that's not a long time. It takes 52 seconds to go around Indianapolis. So, about what, 43 minutes for these guys to get going? That's a long, long time. And imagine doing the full 400-mile race they do here.
52 seconds at over 160 at the apex of the corner. Yeah, at the end of the front stretch, close to 190 miles an hour. There's 190, 195. So the driver's downshifted to 4, and so they plays it out here. He can go. He'll make an upshift about mid of the back stretch to 5th gear, and then use the torque of the engine right about now. Downshifts to 4th and uses the engine to slow the car down. Maybe a touch of brake, but probably less of that. Especially with fresh tires, you don't really need much brake at this stage.
Yeah, check up on them in about 30 laps or so. See how those tires are starting to do there.
Yeah.
But it is one of the cooler things about the next gen car. Seeing them go to sequential, it upset a lot of NASCAR purists when they made the switch. Now, I will admit, as somebody who still drives an H pattern shifter, I do love the feeling. There's nothing better of dropping that gear from 3rd to 4th, but especially on road courses too, it makes this car so much more accessible and so much more easier to drive. You are pretty much trained on your way up to the series how to run pretty much everything. You go from a H pattern with a clutch to the truck, H pattern. I believe you don't have to clutch the downshift in the Xfinity car, to now this, which is now the sequential no clutch. It's 3 different disciplines across 3 different series, and that's what makes guys who go all the way in the series. That's what makes them just so good in the Cup Series.
Someone is that's Roberto Ramirez again,
and I'm guessing I mean, I saw smoke.
Yeah, you did, but there was no black flag there. He made it in.
Let's see.
Let's back that up just a
bit. I mean, he was definitely coming down pit road there, just locked it up.
That's just super fast.
That's the proper way to get on the pit road. Right there instead of sideways.
Ledger is also
Ledger
on
too
pit road.
Yeah, Ledger too fast in.
He spun. And got a black flag. Got lucky. He didn't tag that safer barrier, but just barely. All right, a little action on track as a few drivers. I'm not sure what that strategy is. I mean, I guess you could potentially short pit, right?
I think so.
I don't know how that works out, but you know, it is what it is. So these drivers have the opportunity all week long to practice and to run other official races during the week. They may have figured out a strategy. All the power to them. Right now up front, Walker Thomas is out front. You've got Justin Lewis in second with Brian Jones in third. Jeremy Brown is sitting in fourth. Zach Lindgren is in fifth.
Great run for those guys. And Herschel, we talked about him earlier. He's dropped a couple spots, but he's still staying in the fight. He's sitting back there in ninth. Not a bad spot to be right now in case anything does go wrong. But this trail of lead cars here. And Lindgren going to try to get Brown up further. Up to Jones, see if they can get a draft by him. But so far, I have not seen a lot of aggressive moves here. I haven't seen a whole lot of early passing here in this stage.
Looking around the track. Other battles around. Really just relegated right now to what looks to be like a lot of single file racing.
What it looks like, and could be worse, could be 8 cautions in by now, getting flashbacks to 2008 Indianapolis, for those of you who know what happened there. But thankfully, iRacing has brought a good tire model here. Everything's running smooth here. Let's take a look at this battle here. That's between the 14 of Anthony and the 91 of Pileshi. That's going back there to the 13th spot. We were trying to get up into the top, at least try to get a push up into the top 10.
Yeah, Michael Anthony and Jordan Weaver, both teammates. We'll look at that real quick. It's 13-20 with Justin Lewis in second, Andrew Pileshi in 10th, and then jumping over to the Bawls Out Racing guys. Obviously, Walker Thomas up in front. Kyle Smalley made his way up to 6th. And then Anthony and Weaver right there at 11th and 12th. Well, so far, race recap just past the halfway point with 41 laps in the books. Walker Thomas leads. We've only had that one stage caution there and one lead change. We had Justin Lewis up in qualified in first and was a leader, and we had the flip-flop with Walker Thomas currently leading.
Good battle going on here. Both of these drivers really letting it all hang out there. Anthony especially, he's going to get up the racetrack here. Brown can't quite make, the 14 of Anthony can't make the move. Weaver can't make it. Let's see if he'll get it down the back straightaway. Does he have a nose just yet? I think he's got it. Let's see if he'll make the dive in. And he does.
Still door to door. The 14 got a little bit of right front nose damage there. Doug's in behind his teammate. There's a little bit of a draft here you can pull at Indianapolis. Out in front. Just kind of chilling, yeah, but he's about to come up to Roberto Ramirez, who is he's the last car on the lead lap, and right now he is in the windshield of Walker Thomas.
Which is shocking. Usually you don't see lap traffic come in as a factor at Indy, but you're starting to see it here, and those guys in the back because of penalties on pit road, because of some damage that they may have sustained. I believe, I can't tell who I believe it'll be Ledger who will get the free pass because he was first car lap down.
He is one lap down. That is correct. If the caution were to come out.
If the caution does come out.
Not that we're hoping for a caution.
No, absolutely not. And the announcer jinx totally doesn't exist. It's not a real thing, as we all know.
It never happens.
Right, I know. Totally not looking at last week.
All right, Walker Thomas out front. It just doesn't appear. Let's go on board with the 7 real quick. Just not sure what he can do to close that gap. Oh, loose there. You know, he hung that left side of the tire of the car right there below that white line, like that, and that's a little dangerous.
Whoa. Yeah, super tight is the way that car is looking right now. It just doesn't look like it wants to turn how he wants it. Definitely some adjustments are going to be made on pit road when he comes back down.
Oh, he is super loose. Glass, and you can see a lot of you see the drivers trying to do anything they can to get out of that dirty air and try to make up some advantage there.
I don't think we've talked about that either. Is the dirty air?
What we do know is that they're getting closer to that pit stop where a green flag stops, we're guessing will appear somewhere between lap 50 and 54 here. Drivers who can stretch it out to lap 54 may be able to make it just this last stop.
Oh, caution.
Caution flies. Andrew Pileshi involved. He's currently on pit road now. He's got major damage. Meatball flag. Let's see what happened to Andrew.
Oh. In lap 48. All right, so let's take a look here. Spin's already happening, and he just can't get it slowed down.
Oh. Major impact on that left side, right into the safer barrier here. He has got some major suspension damage. You can see that the left front quarter panel is gone off the 91. He's got some major damage on that car. Well, the 91 is, unfortunately, I'm guessing he is he may be done for the night here. And this is probably pretty good timing for these folks here at lap 49, that they were planning on pitting somewhere around lap 52. I'm guessing we'll see the entire field in at this point, which then makes it pretty interesting, because if you assume they're in at 50, that takes us to maybe 76. But with this under caution, this may wind up being the last stop of the night.
It very well may be. I mean, we're more than halfway to it. I mean, this could be it. All right, everybody coming on down to pit road. Let's see who will get off here. And hey, it's been a great race on pit road here. So far,
Sure
it's been
has.
close. And look, the 7 is pushing the 1. Kind of using him as his own pit limiter.
Not a bad idea. Forced tire stop for all competitors.
And Thomas again.
Oh, super close. Super fast stop. 10:30 for Justin Lewis. One of the faster pit times. Jeremy Brown eclipsed that with a 10:27. But, wow. Doesn't appear that anybody tried to do anything but a full tank of fuel and 4 tires here. All right, so Walker Thomas comes up and will be leading here. We are lap 50, 30 laps to go here at Indianapolis.
Which means just about probably less than 30 minutes here.
We shall see.
52 seconds. And for that to be the first caution of the night, great for the racing here. This is definitely going to shake the field up just a little bit. But this is what, only, I believe, second set of tires these guys have used. They still got one more left.
Well, lights are off on the pace car, which means this field is working to get formed back up for this restart. Again, as we said earlier, it's on Walker Thomas. He is the control car. He'll have the 7 of Justin Lewis to his outside.
I will say I love it when the restart's on the leader, just because it gives that guy a chance to kind of play some mind games and try to get out there and just run with it. And we've seen it time and time again in the Cup Series. Some guys wait till the end of the box to go. See what Thomas will do here.
All right, in the middle of the backstretch right now, as this field will tighten up as they enter turn 3. Getting bunched up, not quite as much as I would expect here as they're entering and coming out of turn 4.
See what these guys can do here. I don't know what Justin Lewis is going to try to do here. I mean, he's been able to get somewhat of a decent restart. He gets the door to him, and then he just can't seem to pull it back.
Based on my calculations, they can't. Green flag flies here in Indianapolis. My calculations said that this 29 laps to go, they can't do that on one fuel tank. Oh, big move by Jones. The 7 fades back. Justin Lewis now back to 3rd, in danger of going 4th down. 4 down in the wall. Oh, Brown spins. Gets hooked by Lewis.
Big hit there for Brown. Caution flag will fly off the restart. And let's go back and take a look. Man.
They're tight together between the 46 and the 7 right there. That's the green car to black and green to the inside. 7 in the wall. Well, you know, I thought he just hooked them, but it looks like that's not exactly what happened here.
Yeah, it looks like the 46... It's either net code or the 46.
He was a little loose. Let's go.
I was gonna say I don't think Lewis hooked him on purpose, but I mean, he's trying to get off the wall here.
A little bit of net code there.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
See,
I mean, I think Brown.
Right there,
yeah,
there's a little bit of net code.
I think Brown thought he was clear as well. As you can see, Lewis trying to go down, Brown trying to move up.
Yep. Well, that's unfortunate for the 46, but doesn't. I don't see any major damage on that. Looks well. I take that back. There's some spots on that 46 that look a little sketchy right there. You see that rear right panel. Looks like he backed into the wall. All right, Justin Lewis is now headed down to pit road as Tyler Leclerc, Zach Lindgren. I think that's the smart move here.
I think so too.
If they come in now, and even if they just get fuel and paddle the way around, that they're good. They will not have to come in again.
See the call here from Justin Lewis.
Something happened to David Watts there at the end there. I think he spun, trying to getting on pit road.
like he didn't. Don't quite know how that managed to happen.
That's John Ledger in front of him. Decided
It's
to,
like he just slammed on the brakes.
yeah. All right.
It's good now. That's what we know.
All right. Well, this field is coming back together. Looks like Pileshi tried to come out. Looks like he's getting back on the track. I see he is back underway. Not sure just whether he'll be able to get back up to speed in the 91. We'll see how that goes.
Smalley rejoining the track there.
Nope, looks like Andrew Pileshi has retired. But yeah, Smalley was.
Fortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kyle Smalley, while he came in at lap 49, telemetry is not showing that he actually stopped here. I'm not sure how that all played out. But those drivers who definitely did stop here, Justin Lewis, Ledger, Jeremy Brown, Zach Lindgren is in now, Marco Berube, David Watts, Aaron Jackson. I think they're all done. They will not have to stop again. So as we get towards the last 10 laps, could be super interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. And this last stop here, because I mean, this puts Lewis back in 17th. He's going to have a little bit of a ways to go. But I think he can do it. Let's see if he can pull it off. This would be a great win here if he could do it.
Yeah, that was an extended pit stop. He was in the pits for a minute and a half. So there must have been something going on with that 7 car. Well, Walker Thomas leads this field around to get this restart back underway. Our third official caution, 1 doesn't count. That was for our stage break, but cautions 2 and 3 for some incidents. 1's a single car spin, and 2, the incident with Lewis and Jeremy Brown.
This is going to be a fun restart here. You have Lewis in the back. You have pretty much everybody who went down pit road out of the way for this restart. Let's see what these guys can do, because this is going to be a lot of fun here. Here we go.
Green flag flies. Good jump by the 1, but Ryan Jones is right there. Kyle
Here
Smalley
comes
has
Brian
made
Jones.
his way back up to the. Kyle Smalley started in 3rd. He's back in 3rd.
See if he can hold on to it here. Off turn 2. Let's see who will try to get the draft here. Look at Thomas way down the racetrack trying to kill that draft. Get that dirty air. And here comes Smalley.
A lot happening
way up
behind.
the racetrack.
Look, 3 wide. Oh, in
Wishing,
the wall.
yeah.
17 of Wishing tags the safer barrier. But holds it together. Green flag flies, stays out here. No caution.
Whoa, big dive there from the 33. Try to make that work, couldn't get it done.
25
now
in the
under.
wall again.
Yeah, Ramirez has really been struggling here, especially off of the exit. We've seen him touch the wall the last couple of laps here.
Lewis just back here, he is up to 14. Tries to get around the 17. inside of Wishing. He sets his eyes on the 12 of Aaron Jackson. In front of Jackson, there's a battle going on between Lindgren and Houston. Back up front, Brian Jones sets the fastest lap of the race with a 52.23. And he is not letting Walker Thomas get too far ahead. Right behind Brian Jones is Kyle Smalley.
Smalley's done a great job keeping himself in it tonight. I think that strategy call there was a good call on his part, getting that track position. But let's see what he can try to do here with this spot he's been given. He's challenged Jones a couple times, has not been able to get it there quite yet. Let's see what he can do.
Solid run by the 51 here in that Shark Week paint scheme. Really, right now you've got Bawls out, race team running 1, 3, 4, and 6.
Great run for Bawls Out Racing, and for them to be able to win one of their title races as well, and to finish as well as they are right now. Be a great moment for them. And let's see if Walker Thomas can hold on here for 21 more laps, or Brian Jones grab his first career win.
I think a good peek at that gas gauge. We'll see how that plays out the deeper we get into this. But we've tried to figure out fuel and mileage this whole season, and they know more than we do. That's for sure.
What a run for Thomas. It's been perfection all day for him. Starting on the outside there, I mean, really didn't faze him. He was able to get by the 7 and has led every lap so far. He's got 20 laps to go here. What a run it would be for him to pull this off. I mean, you really can't get much better than that.
Absolutely solid. All right, Brian Jones trying to get stay in second, but Kyle Smalley just worked his way around the 4 to take over second place.
What a run for Smalley. Getting it done here.
There's 19 laps to go. Again, we'll see how this all plays out. 10 laps could be very interesting, could not be. We'll just have to figure it out here. But the first driver on this list of drivers came in early is Ty LeClaire. He came in at lap 53 4 laps better than the current leaders. We'll see if that makes a difference. Maybe let's jump on board with Walker Thomas, see if he's in fuel saving mode. Now you can see he's in 4th gear, so
there's a shift there.
Goes right to a downshift. So usually what we would see if he was trying to save fuel is that he would just press in that clutch and you hear the RPMs drop to almost nothing, and then pick it back up as he exits out of the corner, try and save a little fuel. Also by downshifting the way that they are, 5th to 4th and then back up, that burns more fuel as well. So we'll see how this all plays out. Very interesting.
Walker Thomas trying to kill any of that air he can get off of him. Doing a good job of it at that. He's been excellent so far here, and 1.3 ahead.
Little battle brewing right there with Nathan Carroll. Ahead of him, Jordan Weaver, Zach Wilbren. All pretty tight racing here. But again, we're single file here at the moment. You look at it, you know, Indy is a classic track. You know, it's got a storied history. The Brickyard, with the Indianapolis 500 and other races, especially IndyCar that occurs here. But it's not a super fun NASCAR track.
Yeah, it's tough to pass, but it rewards strategy and it rewards just being good. I mean, you look at Corey Haim, his first time there, goes out to Indy, wins the dang thing, and was great the whole day. You don't necessarily have to be one of the best drivers in NASCAR to win at Indy. You just have to be good at Indy.
I really missed the races back with the Gen 4, the car of tomorrow. Those different versions of this car were just a little bit different on this track. That's probably before your time.
I believe so. 06 was the year I was born. I started watching NASCAR about 2010, so.
Yeah, I'm hating myself, but
Shame I didn't get to see the 2008 Brickyard 400, but hey, you know, that probably would have made a lot of people stop watching. They seen that, well, hey, these tires can't last 5 laps. What are these guys bringing?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Shockingly, the gap has shrunk just a little bit. It's shrunk about 1/10 of a second between Thomas and Smalley. There's 13 laps to go. Smalley just looks tight through the corners, but Thomas so good on straightaway and exit speed.
Talked about the race here at in 2008. That was, I guess, they debuted the new car. The new car of tomorrow came out. It was deemed a disaster. That's the only way to put it. Between the surface here and then the Goodyear tires, NASCAR was actually forced to throw a competition caution every 10 to 12 laps. Tires were kind of exploding all over the place. If you go back and watch it, I think you can probably see it on YouTube. It's a pretty crazy race. Even going down 9-10 laps, the tires were down to the cords and the nylon base. Crazy.
Gotta love it. I mean, my kind of Indy 2008 was the Bristol spring race just a couple years ago, where the tires wouldn't last about 20 laps at Bristol and guys would be coming down pit road. One of the crazier races that I've seen. But it's been so cool to watch not only the next gen car progress, but the drivers try to figure this car out. I mean, you see some guys come on later in the season, they'll kind of find their groove finally. I mean, it took a lot of guys a little while to figure this car out. I mean, it took it's Brad Keselowski, a veteran of the Cup Series. It's still taking him a long time to figure this car out, while you have guys like Joey Logano who go out there and win 2 championships in the next gen car. And you know, every team has its ups and downs with this car, but it seems like guys like Hendrick and Joe Gibbs have really led the front here. But it's neat watching this transfer over to iRacing. These cars kind of stay the same. Everybody's on a fixed setup. You get to watch guys kind of shine in their element, kind of make their adjustments as they go on, figure out how to race the track, and especially the car in front of them. It's always neat to see that get transferred over. And coming to 10 to go here, gap stayed the same between Thomas and Smalley. I think Thomas is going to try to put this one away here.
Big news is that Tyler Leclerc now up 14 spots and is now up to 4th. He's figured out the way to turn this car on. Leclerc just about 3/4 of a second back behind Brian Jones. With 10 laps to go. Let's just take a quick peek at our telemetry. That's going to be potentially close here. We'll see how it goes. Maybe they know something better than we do. Looking back through the field, pretty solid racing here. Again, got some good distance. You can see from the track map here, the field is fairly spread out. There's no, drivers will not encounter the last car lead lap is Jared Wishet, but he's 3/4 or about a half a lap behind, so right now that's not a factor. But the big story for us here in the booth is we think there's a fuel issue here. That's our best guess, and those who are ready to take advantage of that is the 33 of Leclerc and the 85 of Lindgren. Both of those drivers came in from lap 53 and 54, so they're about 4 or 5 better to the good than the leaders. Not sure what happened
Justin
to Aaron
Lewis.
Jackson.
Oh, he lost a fender way back there.
See if we can find this incident. See our.
Oh, he's got a tire smoking.
Yeah, I see J.R. Houston here. I think they came together here. Let's take a peek. Watching this. He's up under the 20. Here's a little bit of contact. He's all the way down at the edge of the racing surface. Gets around the 20, but something happened.
I think it may be up one more lap. Let's see, because he did lose it off of 4.
Watching a replay here of the 12. Just takes so long to get around this track.
Let's take a minute. Let's see. We may see it right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Caution did not come out, but that 12 is wrecked. He's left parts of that car on the front stretch.
Thank goodness for no debris cautions, am I right?
That's right. That left front is not turning, and he'll make his way. He'll limp all the way around to get back to pit road.
All right, back up into 5 laps remaining.
Jet back to the back here. There's a lot going on amongst these drivers here. So 4 cars battling. The 63 of Nathan Carroll, you got the 14 of Anthony, Herschel, and Weaver all in a tight battle, and that battle right there is for 6th.
Herschel going to try to come out on top with it, but for Justin Lewis, a good opportunity there to try to catch back up to this pack. Everybody kind of fighting, not really thinking about the car behind them. See what he can do.
5 laps to go.
Coming to 4 this time by. Still side by side. Excellent racing here by these guys.
Michael Anthony may have gotten a little bit of an advantage there. Herschel tries to break that air up there. A little loose for the 49.
Ooh, that's so close up the racetrack there.
That's Weaver and Lewis now all involved. Lewis is up to 10th. Marco Berube also got into a little bit of a scuffle there. 99.
There's Justin Lewis back into the fight now.
He's trying to figure out how to get around these 3 cars in front of him.
Ooh, I thought we were going to see 3 wide there for a second.
3 laps to go here, folks. This race is winding down. Oh, they're in the... I thought that 49 was going to be in the door of the 14.
There's the clip that gets reposted every year that kind of reminds me of how this battle is, they make contact there. Kind of reminds me how this battle is going is when I think it was the 2018 or 2019 Brickyard where Jimmy Johnson sent it 3 wide for the lead while his engine was, I mean, just obliterating itself all over the racetrack. You could see liquid flying from his car, and he finds some speed, manages to send it 3 wide before having to pull in. But that really is what Lewis is going to try to do here. He really needs to start throwing himself into this fight now because he's really struggling getting by the 49. And he's got 3 guys fighting in front of him. He really has a good opportunity to get himself up in there.
Yeah, he's right now. This is still door to door. Oh, in the together. Oh, the 49 goes around.
Oh, there goes Casey Herschel. And will we see a caution flag?
Yes,
Caution flag is out. Wow.
I'm not sure if that's a blessing or a problem for these drivers, because now they're going to have to limp around with the caution. If you're already close on fuel, let's take a little bit on the telemetry we had for Walker Thomas. Man, our telemetry here, which is not as accurate as what's in the car, says fuel is a challenge here.
Yeah, I think Thomas that's definitely not what Thomas needed. I think he could have run it out here.
But now they're going to have 3 or 4 laps here. Granted, it's at caution, at caution speed, 60, 65 miles an hour, but they're still burning fuel.
Yep.
I bet you right now, if we go on board, he's clutching that car. Yeah, you can see limited RPMs. Gets up a little bit of speed. And kind of shuts the car down. Just trying to do whatever it takes at a minimum to catch up to that pace car. And here comes the entire... Oh, no, he stays out. He stays out.
Oh, wow.
As did Lewis, and Jordan Weaver also stayed out. Now, Lewis is the only one of the 3 who came in at lap 53. Everybody else came in at lap 49. This is very interesting.
Did Lewis, because Lewis short pitted.
Yeah, but he's 4 laps to the good based on, Lewis pitted on lap 53. Also stayed out is Marco Berube. He came in at lap 54, so very interesting. And the drivers who went in the pits, they got fuel only, or maybe right sides. Can't tell for sure. They probably had time for a 2-tire stop, but this is very interesting. Thomas is gambling on this. Let's see what is happening in his car. Yeah, he is doing everything he can to save some fuel.
I mean, he's basically out here.
Yeah, can he make it around? Can he make it? No, he still has another lap of under caution here to get back to the start finish. Let's bring up that track map. So they're coming out of turn 4 now. They're going to take the formation caution. They'll get the 1 to go at the line, and then 1 more lap under caution, and then we'll go green-white checker. So he still has to make it a couple more laps past that at full race speed. I don't know. Again, our telemetry says he's on fumes.
I mean, he's. I think fumes is an understatement. It's hopes and dreams almost. But I mean, hey, he has a shot.
I mean, just look at the guys who came in behind him that pitted at the same time he did at lap 49. I mean, they're gamblers too. None of them gambled.
No, it really is shocking to see that, and I think Lewis has the best strategy right now out of everybody, fuel-wise.
Yeah, can Justin Lewis make it happen, get a win by this fuel opportunity here? Hey, a win's a win, right?
You take them where you can get them. I'll be honest with you. I mean, you really do. And let's see. I think these guys so far know what the risk is with staying out, and I think Thomas had it there had we run green to the end. But fortunately, we're not going to get that opportunity. We're going to get a restart here. See who can figure it out.
All right, competitors are entering into turn 3. Walker Thomas leading this field to the restart zone. They're in the short chute between 3 and 4.
This is going to be a fun one here.
Walker Thomas in that Elysian Toyota #1. Pace car leaves the surface. Best chance for Justin Lewis here. Green flag flies. Good jump by Justin Lewis to stay in that. Oh, the one takes him up and then Jordan Weaver down below, trying to take that position away. Lewis holds on to it.
Coming down the back straightaway here, it is all Walker Thomas. Is he gonna have enough to try to pull off this win here at Indy? Lewis trying to get the draft here. Here comes Justin Lewis. Oh, we got a spin in the back straightaway. Let's see if that'll bring out the caution. Houston stopped.
We're still green. Green through 4.
Looks like Houston is going. He has a meatball. And as Vince Gill said, it's one more last chance. White flag here at Indy. 1 to go for Walker Thomas.
Justin Lewis right there. Last lap, last opportunity. He's got to hope that there's no more fuel in that tank for Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas is pedaling it through turn 2. On the backstretch, oh, Lewis tags the wall, but he's still making it happen.
And that may have done it. That may have done it for Thomas. Let's see if he's got anything left in him for Justin Lewis in the 7. Down through 3 and 4. It looks like he is somehow going to have enough. Pass for third happening in the back. It'll be Zach Lindgren in the 3rd spot. But Walker Thomas defies the fuel odds. He will win at Indianapolis for the Balls Out Racing. Balls to the wall at Indy. And what a win for Walker Thomas. Justin Lewis will finish 2nd, his best finishing position of the year. Zach Lindgren in 3rd. Tyler Clare in 4th. A great run for him, up from 18th. And Jordan Weaver will finish 5th. That's your top 5.
Thomas, Lewis, Lindgren.
Heck of a win for
absolutely.
Walker Thomas. I mean, that's just domination. Led pretty much every single lap here. Was doubtful as if he was going to be able to get it back.
Let's take a peek at what happened to J.R. Houston here. He absolutely smashed. I'm not sure what happened to him. Let's go to a different view here. That's the 46. Oh, little tap.
And what a win for Walker Thomas. And we've just heard on the radio, he is out of fuel in the one machine. His car will not go. He will not get his opportunity to do his burnout, but what a win. I mean, running out of fuel coming to do your burnout, I mean, that just shows you how close he was.
Absolutely. All right, we've got some results.
Walker Thomas, 83 laps led. He will be your most laps led leader tonight. Fastest lap, he claims it with a 52.357. Tyler Clare is our hard charger, up 14 spots. He'll finish in the 4th place spot. And pole position will go to Justin Lewis. So close there. 2/10 back is what he'll finish. But what a run for Justin Lewis and Walker Thomas. Let's take you through your top 10 here. Walker Thomas is tonight's winner, followed by Justin Lewis in 2nd. Zach Lindgren in 3rd. Tyler Clare in 4th. Jordan Weaver in 5th. Kyle Smalley in 6th. Roberto Ramirez in 7th, Brian Jones in 8th, Nathan Carroll in 9th, and John Ledger in 10th.
Casey Herschel finishes in 11th with Michael Anthony in 12th, Marco Ruby in 13th, Jeremy Brown in 14th with Jared Wishon in 15th, David Watson 16th. J.R. Houston will finish in 17th with Aaron Jackson in 18th, Andrew Pleshy in 19th, Ty Bostic in 20th, and Nathan Yarnell will finish in 21st. But all right, let's. So we've talked about Walker Thomas, Justin Lewis, Zach Lindgren. That's our podium. Let's move on to some interviews. All right, let's see if we can get Zach Lindgren here. Here he is, Zach Lindgren. Congratulations on your P3 finish.
Yeah, appreciate it. It was it was a night for sure, man. Having starting back there, falling back, working my way up, and then having poor pit stops to go all the way to the back and come back up again. I really thought that, you know, when I went back to the back the first time, I thought my race was done, and the car was actually really good tonight. I don't know what I did, but something worked. Can't really complain, honestly. It was an up and down night, a speeding penalty, go all the way to the back to 17th, work my way back up to 4th, and be battling with 3rd until that last caution. So, I mean, all things considered, a P5 at stage, a P3 to end, good points night.
You got the 3rd place spot there, right? I mean, at coming to the finish line there. Take us through that kind of last little drag there through 3 and 4 with the 51 of Smalley.
Yeah, coming to the white flag, I thought I was in a bad place. Ty kind of jumped behind me and gave me a push, and when I saw Kyle jump low, I knew the middle was probably going to be open. He tried to block, which I don't blame him for, but I mean, if you're going to aggressively block, I'm going to aggressively pass, so I kind of forced it 3 wide there, and going into 1, we both made it through. I think we only really had contact on the backstretch trying to... him trying to slow me down. And again, I don't blame him, but that's why I was just driving it as hard as possible as well. So, Kyle and I have raced around each other since like 2016, 2017, something like that. So 10 years in the making. We know how to race around each other, know how to be aggressive. It's just being around somebody like that who's arguably the championship favorite and being able to outlast him right there on the last lap. It's a good feeling. I really wish I didn't keep shooting myself in the foot. I really think I might have had something for Walker, maybe just a top 2 at the least. But again, I can't complain. A P3 is a good day, a good points day. Again, P5 in stage, so I can't really complain. But yeah, it was fun racing against Kyle right there at the end.
Well, congratulations on your P3 finish. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout-out to Elite Motorsports. I believe everybody had an up and down night. I know Jeremy was up there running and had that incident with the 7, so I hate it for Jeremy, but I think he recovered somewhat decently. Just everyone at Elite Motorsports just keeping a clean head for the most part. You guys up here in the booth doing what you do, dedicating your time to the league. A huge shout out to Premier Setups for just giving us absolute rocket setups. I know we don't use those setups here, but again, just got to give them a huge shout out for everything that they do for the team. So a huge shout out to them. The league admins for doing what they do. Again, Premier Setups, Elite Designs, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Whataburger, NASCAR Diecast fans for being on the car. I can't do this without them. So I very much appreciate their support. So that's all I got for right now, brother.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's Zach Lindgren finishing in 3rd place here. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring Justin Lewis into the booth. Justin, I'd say congratulations, but I know this is bitter for you.
No, I mean, at this point, I'll take a second. Good Lord.
Well, I mean, take the second in the stage points. Take that in the second here. Good points overall.
Yeah, not bad. I wish I could have that initial start of the race back because, I mean, really, once Walker got the lead, he never lost it. So, Smalley trying to send her 3 wide. Shout out to him for not killing us, but attempting it, I guess. I was kind of cussing him at that point, but we'll leave it at that. But you see why. I mean, once you lose the lead, you ain't getting it back. Like I was hoping he was going to run out of fuel for 4, and I mean I was milking the hell out of that car trying to just get it to him, just for the chance he'd run out of fuel. But No,
We were in the booth calculating our software here, and our estimates said that he was out of fuel, which he was as he made it back to the. He had one extra lap in there that we hadn't calculated.
yeah, that's great for him. It's horrible for me.
I know. Sorry about that.
I bet.
You made a really bold strategy there, short pitting, but you came back from that and finished second. How much of a difference did that make in your run back to the front? And could you have made it last in second had you not pitted?
Probably not. I mean, I was really this car lately. Like, I don't know if there's been an update in the past couple months or what, but I feel like I've kind of fell off. Like Wilkesboro last week was brutal. I couldn't get it to do anything I asked it to, so we were kind of just going to run 10th, and it's been that way for most weeks, except Atlanta. That one hurt too, but that's besides the point. But I don't know. I didn't really have to short pit here. It was more of I got in the fence on that one restart and got wheel damage, which I didn't know I had wheel damage until when I put the wheel straight, and it's not straight, and the car turns Jeremy.
Yeah, you were in the pits for about a minute and a half. So
yeah.
Well,
so
think about it. You're in there for a minute and a half, and you still came out. You wound up second.
Yeah, I'll take the damage. I hate to turn somebody like that though for really just a pure accident on my own. Like, I tried to get a good run off that corner, and this car is so aero dependent that I want to throw it into a river, mob style. But I don't know. I getting the damage like that, and I knew that the EOL was probably coming because I turned him, but it wasn't on purpose, obviously. But you can't say I didn't hook him at that point for the damage I ended up having that I didn't know at that moment. But coming in, taking that damage, gave me enough fuel, and I put 4 on it just to see what would happen, and I kind of just went for it there, and we got up to like 8th or 9th, which I think right before that caution happened, which it was in that little group we had like a 5-car battle at Indy, which, to be honest, was quite interesting. I didn't think we could do that here, but we were having a good time. I was having a good time at least, but all in all, track's great, car sucks. I'd like to get some body roll in this thing, get some horsepower, make this thing actually drive like a race car. I mean, it feels like a brick on wheels. So, but second's good. I think I'll just forever be bridesmaid. I feel like Christopher Bell this season and really last season. So eventually we're going to click one of these off out of nowhere. So we're looking at the schedule. We're coming up with some kind of more short track stuff. As long as it doesn't handle like that thing did at North Wilkesboro last week, I should be pretty good. So, yeah, I'm proud to have second. Congrats to Walker for the win. Indiana boys won 2. Technically, both Columbus Indiana boys won 2. And didn't know that until we started this thing a long time ago. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't even know where we go. No, we go to Dover, so that's going to be All-Star race.
Dover's All-Star, but then we go to Iowa and Richmond.
Thank God, get me in my groove.
Well, congratulations. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, I ended up kind of finishing that one solo, but 1320, as always, it was just me and Andrew tonight. I don't know what Todd's doing. He was building some motor or something, and I think Max is caught up at work, so he didn't get to put anybody in his car. But always shout out to them. Usually we kind of slacked as a group lately, not really practicing as much, which might be part of the problem too. But they're always good for more support. I mean, Max joined in, said, hey, ask how it was going, and then Andrew died, so maybe that was his bad luck. But you guys are putting on a good broadcast, as always. Elliot for putting up with the BS. I'm sure he does that more than he wants to, especially how the seasons went. But, yeah, hopefully we can carry this second and do a first here next week.
Sounds great. Well, good luck to you. That's Justin Lewis finishing second here at Indianapolis. And we'll welcome into the booth in just a second. Walker Thomas joins us here, the winner of the Balls to the Wall Brickyard 200. Start to finish, it was all the number 1 Walker Thomas. Congratulations on your victory.
I appreciate it, guys. Pretty special, being home track and all, and just being Indy in general. Pretty cool. And then cherry on top, team sponsors the race. So perfect one to bring home. Got lucky, man. I started sputtering at the very end, about 100 yards before the start finish line. So thank goodness they kept it clean on the green white checkered. That was really going to sting if that didn't get to finish the way it started. But yeah, really happy with the night.
Not only do you get to win at your home track, but you get to win, and you won your sponsor's main race. Obviously, huge win for you guys at Balls Out Racing. Just kind of take us through Indy. I mean, we know how hard it is to race here, how hard it is to pass here. I mean, what's the strategy? I mean, you were out front pretty much the whole day.
Yeah, I mean, from practice, you could tell passing was going to be incredibly tough. I really knew a good qualifying lap was going to be the key to the start of the night. I qualified second and was kind of okay with it. Mistakes can happen. You can get runs, restarts happen, pit stops happen. So there were opportunities there, but passing on track was going to be really tough. But yeah, luckily got a pretty good jump and was able to hold it on Justin's outside in turn one, and the rest is history. It's tough to pass for sure.
Well, congratulations with your victory. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, obviously, Balls Out sponsoring the race. Pretty cool to get that done. Obviously, we wanted to do Charlotte as well, which I won. So if we could keep sponsoring races, that'd be pretty cool. But shout out to the Balls Out guys. Jordan brought it home with a top 5 and 5th, Kyle 6th, and Mike was running really good there at the end. Probably deserved a little bit better than what he got. So shout out to those guys as always. And then shout out to my company I work for, Allegiant. Pretty cool to have them on board tonight too. It was definitely a homecoming. So, and then last but not least, always shout out Diecast fans. And make sure we use code DFans at Circle B for free shipping.
All right, there you have it. The winner of tonight's Balls to the Wall race here at the Brickyard goes to Walker Thomas, bringing it home. Here, we thank you all for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of the race tonight. Any parting thoughts?
I mean, it was great racing down to the wire. I mean, you really had a close battle there. I mean, you heard it from Thomas himself, started sputtering there coming to the checkered. It just shows you how close this kind of racing can be. Granted, it was pretty much domination throughout the whole way. You did see some good mid-pack battles, and I think that's what makes Indy so special. But great racing tonight. Really looking forward to next week at Dover.
All right. So for Noah and myself, we thank you so much for those of you who have tuned in on the YouTube platform or TikTok. We thank you for watching. We'll be back next week for here on Wednesday nights for the All-Star race here at Dover on Wednesday. And on Thursday, we are at, I need to look at the schedule. I need to double check. So Thursday, we are at Iowa for the Iowa Corn 175 in the IRNS Racing Series. So for Noah and myself, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night. Good night, folks.